Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into talking about the bad blood between sisters and nieces and aunties, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to check out everything down below in the description box. Shop our love collection, which is also down below. And if you feel so inclined, be sure to send over a super thanks or a super chat. Either way, thank you, and let's dive in. So, as we all know, the girls are beefing, the girls are fighting, the girls are beefing. So, we all know that Kyle has been really coming for Kathy Hilton, who we know is Paris Hilton's mom, during this season. You know, she has historically in the past, but this season it's just so obvious, it's so glaring, it's too much. Everything with Tequila Gate, picking apart, when she just wants corn or utensils or, what she wears to be comfortable while traveling. Kyla just really picked her apart. She gave her the shittiest room in Aspen, the bunk beds. Kathy took it, in stride. She didn't care. She was like, okay, whatever. And then Kyle had the camera crew all up in Kathy's face the next morning while Kathy was still like basically asleep. It was a lot. And you could tell that Kyle had, enabled and emboldened Erica and Dorit and Diana and Lisa Rinna to also in turn be disrespectful towards Kathy. We all know that. It's been a bit of a shit show, not cool. So Paris Hilton has come to her mom's defense multiple times, jumping in and just being like, hey, listen, back off my mom. What are you doing? This isn't cool. She tweeted the whole thing about her Fab Four, which was, her mom, Garcelle, Sutton, and Crystal. And then also, according to Reality Blurb over here, it says Paris Hilton likes new tweets shading Kyle Richards for always name dropping her and wanting to appear wealthy. Does she think Kyle wouldn't be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills without Kathy? Bloop. So, I mean, that's basically it in a nutshell. Paris is basically being like, why are you being disrespectful to my mom? You name drop me and my family every other day. Bravo initially wanted it to be with Kathy on the show, but Kathy was just like, no, thank you. Kathy doesn't appear on the show until like season 10, season 11. So we had all that situation going on. And then also, from day one, Kyle basically introduced herself on the show as I'm Paris Hilton's aunt. But yet you want to disrespect Paris Hilton's mother, who happens to be your sister. So gloves are off and shots fired. Also over here, we see that Paget Lansbury said, Kyle, in my opinion, exploits the fact that she's Paris and Nikki's aunt on the regular. Like it's a personality trait. But she can't give Paris and Nikki's mother 10 seconds of support for a product she's promoting on the same show. Exactly. And Paris Hilton liked that, showing the support, basically co-signing that sentiment. So this is my theory on how I think everything's going to shake out when it comes to Paris and Kathy and Nikki. This is what I think. I think that Kathy still is protecting Kyle. And let me flush out this theory for you guys. I know you guys might be like, what do you mean? This is what I mean. So even though, Paris is liking the tweets and Paris is basically coming out being like, back off my sister. I think their big reason, back off my mother. I think the big reason why Paris has gotten involved in the situation and defending her mother, yes, because Kyle was being, shady and disrespectful, 100%. But I also think a big reason why Paris got involved is we cannot forget what kicked off this whole situation with Kathy in Aspen. It was Lisa Rinna's, in my personal opinion, lies saying that Kathy said the N-word and that she said a homophobic slur, and she went on some racist and, homophobic rant in Aspen. We cannot forget that is what actually kicked off the whole Aspen, Kathy situation, right? So I think that once that narrative got out there, once those allegations got out there, Kathy really had to be able to defend herself in a way that did not make her look guilty, because I don't think Kathy is guilty. Again, I personally do not believe Kathy ever said that. I think that Lisa Rinna made it up. That's my personal belief. I think Lisa Rinna is lying through her teeth. I think Kathy just had enough. I think she popped off on Kyle, but this whole N-word homophobic slur missed me with that. I just simply do not believe it. But we can't forget that is what actually kicked off the whole wait for Aspen's gonna blow up situation. So I think that a way to mitigate that, in a way to sort of give Kathy cover from those allegations. And I only say cover because those are big things. Those are big allegations, right? Anybody in this world at this point could get canceled very quickly for those type of allegations. So I think that Paris jumped in to sort of, you know, use her celebrity, use her influence, use her, likability and her clout and her platform to defend her mother, and also to really shed the light on the fact that Kathy didn't say this, Kathy didn't do this. And what really happened is that Kyle was the one who was being disrespectful and poking, enabled her friends to do the same, be disrespectful and poke. And that is what happened in Aspen. And then Kathy popped off on her little sister for disrespecting her. So I think that's a big reason why Paris is jumping in on this. People are saying, like, oh, we don't want, like, Kyle, don't ruin the family again, because as we all know, they've had bad blood for years. Everything that happened with Mauricio sort of going behind Rick Hilton's back, stealing his clients, stealing his money, stealing his agents, and starting his own agency behind Rick's back when Rick had given him a job at Hilton and Highland, and then Mauricio kind of like backstabbed him and went and started his own agency without giving him the heads up. There's no problem with Mauricio starting his own agency. That's fine. It's not what you do, it's always how you do it. So we all know that Kathy and Rick had a big falling out with Mauricio and Kyle. My personal assessment of that is I don't think that Kathy has any resentment toward Kyle over that. I think it has always been Kathy saying, I don't think Mauricio is the best fit for my sister. Not so much I'm mad at my sister for what Mauricio did. And the only reason why I say that, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's because I have sisters. I only have sisters. And so I kind of have that dynamic where if one of us is dating a guy, it's not that we get resentful at our sister, is that we get resentful at the guy, if that makes sense. So I don't think it's so much that Kathy is resentful towards Kyle about the whole Mauricio Rick thing. I think it's more so Kathy is standing by her husband. Mauricio kind of dicked him over. And then Kyle is standing by her husband. And she's just like, well, he did what he had to do for his own come up. I think it's more of that. I think it's more of Kathy is standing by her husband. Kyle is standing by her husband. I don't think the sisters themselves ever had a personal beef. I think it was more of, well, I'm standing by my man. You're standing by my man. It is what it is. If we can't go to family functions, if we can't get them to come together, well, I'm going to stand by my husband and you're going to stand by your husband, and it is what it is. I think it was a personal beef when it came to Kyle exposing Kim's alleged alcoholism. I think that was a personal beef because that was sister versus sister. So again, I think Paris is defending her mom and is coming out because we cannot forget how this Aspen storyline first broke. It was with Lisa Rinna's, again, in my opinion, lies about Kathy Hilton saying the N-word and the homophobic slurs. So I think once that came out, I think Paris was just like, not on my watch. And she's really defending her mom. And she's really, going against her aunt Kyle, because she's basically like, how can you co-sign your friend trying to literally take down my family, because it's bigger than just Kathy getting canceled. It's who's Kathy is attached to. She's a Hilton. There's Rick Hilton. There's Hilton Highland. There's the hotels. There's the executives. There's the empire. Nikki's married to a Rothschild. Like, it's much bigger than just that. It's much bigger than just a sister to sister beef. So I think Paris jumped in and was just like, not on my watch. You're not putting that on my family. Now, I know that there has been other problematic videos of Paris and of other people, saying the N-word in the past and all that. I get that. That's for another video. That's for another discussion. I just sort of like to be able to take subjects and events and compartmentalize them and just, analyze them for what they are in that moment. Okay. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Do you think that a big reason why Paris has come out to, defend her mom is because of how this whole thing started, to shed light on the fact that Rinna was lying, to sort of call out her aunt for not protecting her mother, and really showing that, Kyle systematically poked Kathy? Or do you think on the flip side, no, Paris, stay out of it? These are two grown folk, going after it. But again, it's still her mother and it's still her aunt. So I don't know. I'm kind of with Paris on this one. I know personally, if somebody's coming from my mother, you come from my mother, you come from me. And it's, all like, it's just, you don't go for someone's mom. I don't care who you are. You come from my mom, you come from me, all bets are off, gloves are off at that point. But I want to know what you guys think. So put it down in the description box below. Do you think Kyle does kind of, ride the coattails of being related to the Hiltons? And what do you think about Aspen? Do you think it's just a big nothing burger? Kathy just popped off on Kyle. Or do you believe Rinna? Do you think that, Kathy really did say something homophobic and racist in Aspen and there's just no receipts to prove it? I don't know. I love you guys. Take care of yourself and each other. And before you head out, be sure to comment below, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, don't forget to check out everything down below in the description box, as well as Shop the Love collection. With that, you guys, I love you. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go!